Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. Today is the start of the Destiny 2 public beta. This means that you don't have to have a copy pre-ordered to play the game. So if you couldn't pre-order the game or just want to give it a test drive, you can download the beta now and jump into the action. In this video I want to give you an overview of what you can expect from the Destiny 2 beta, as well as an explanation of some of the game modes you can play, and even a few tips and tricks to help you crush your enemies. So let's jump in and break it all down. Now, if you're a regular viewer of mine or simply already know the information in this video, I put together a comprehensive secrets video last night that goes over some really interesting and some really fun secrets to discover. So hit the eye in the upper corner to click that video, or click the link in the description. And if you are new to the channel, first off, welcome, my name is Future Foe, and I do daily Destiny YouTube content. If you decide to stick around the world of Destiny and like what you see, be sure to hit that like button to show your support and consider subscribing so you can stay up to date on everything Destiny. But enough of that, let's get into the beta. When you fire up the game for the first time, you are greeted with the ability to choose one of three classes. The Titan is the big guns. You hold the front line and help protect your team. This is supported with your ability to help protect other members of your fire team or deal massive amounts of damage over a very short period of time. The Hunter is the Rogue, the Renegade. You can deliver a consistent stream of reliable damage and keep things dying. You have the ability to keep the enemies confused and deliver a satisfying flow of damage output. The Warlock is often seen as the support class, and it's definitely noticed with their unique class abilities, the Healing Rift and the Empowering Rift. The Empowering Rift buffs weapon damage by about 30% while you're standing in the area of effect circle, while the Healing Rift instantly initiates health recovery and also grants an overshield. Having said that, Warlocks are no slouches when it comes to damage. They have a high number of devastating crowd control abilities that help keep things more manageable for the rest of the team. So pick whichever class speaks to you the most. Each class features a couple of subclasses to further refine your playstyle or your role within your fire team. If you want to learn more about each of the subclasses and what they can bring to your team, stay tuned to the channel as I will be posting much more in-depth analysis throughout the day and into tomorrow. Anyways, moving on to the actual content of the beta begins with the first mission of the Red War campaign. That's Destiny 2's sort of story mode. If the first mission is any indication, the campaign for the game is going to be pretty epic indeed. In the middle of the mission, there is a section where you help Commander Zavala hold off waves of enemy invaders in the plaza. If you want to practice your abilities, I recommend hanging out here as the enemies will continue to spawn even after you've completed the 3-wave objective. Once you finish the story mission, you will be sent to orbit. Think of this as a sort of waiting room while you wait for friends to join you or decide what you want to do next. To choose an activity, select Open Director on the bottom of the screen. Here we can see that we have 3 activities available to us during the beta. There are 2 competitive multiplayer activities and 1 cooperative. In Destiny, the competitive mode is called the Crucible, and it's exactly like it sounds. You are pitted up against other players in intense combat. Think of it as a way to hone your skills. In the beta, you have 2 options for the Crucible. The first is Quick Play. In the beta, this playlist features the game mode Control, a Destiny staple. In Control, the main objective is to get kills. However, you can make your kills count for more points by capturing more zones. There are 3 zones to capture: A, B, and C. You and your opponents will spawn in near points A or C. These are already captured, meaning that the kills you get will count as 1 point. When the match starts, your objective should be to capture another zone. Most will head over to the yet unclaimed point of B. This is more common in Destiny 1 because it was easier to capture a neutral point than one that was already claimed. In Destiny 1, you had a 2-step capture. First, you had to wait for it to neutralize, then you could remain on the point for it to capture. Also, if you had multiple players on the point, it would capture it a little bit faster. The big changes for Control in Destiny 2 start with the fact that the neutralization step is gone. So in a matter of 10 seconds, a zone can go from belonging to your enemy to belonging to you. Once you have more zones than your enemy, that is when you want to start getting as many kills as possible. Having 2 zones means your enemy has only 1 and your kills will count as 2 points. And having 3 zones captured puts you in a power play, which basically means that you can now get 3 points for every kill. Having more zones captured than your enemy does can give you a nice lead or even help turn the tide of battle. The next big change with Control is the fact that you no longer need multiple people on a zone to capture it faster, only one is enough. This means that team members can now help protect your flanks or even go for another point. Also keep in mind that assists count as 1 point by themselves, which means that sticking with your teammates and helping them get kills can make a huge difference. You won't get the zone point multiplier, but it's still an important factor. The second Crucible playlist available is competitive, and for the beta, the playlist features the game mode of Countdown. Countdown is a much more objective-based mode. Yes, getting kills can still win the day, but the objective here is to set a charge and defend it until it detonates. The game features 6 rounds and you will alternate between attack and defend. On attack, it's your team's job to seek out one of 2 attack points and set a charge. Once the charge is set, it will detonate in about 43 seconds. It's definitely a very weird time to be sure, but it is the beta and things could still change. Once the charge is set, it's your job to help defend the point until the charge detonates. If the enemy team breaks your defenses, they can approach the bomb and defuse it. If they defuse it successfully, they win the round. If it detonates, you win. When on defense, you need to defend the point and prevent the enemy from setting the charge. However, if they do, you can still win the round by defusing the charge. Now, this can definitely prove to be a bit more challenging, as Countdown features an elimination style of gameplay, meaning that you won't be able to respawn like you do in Control. If you die, you need to be revived by your teammate to rejoin the match, and that revive timer can get pretty long. Now, at the start of a match, you are given a revive point. You can see this on the bottom right hand corner. As long as it's yellow, that means you can still revive your teammate. You also lose the point if you are killed and revived yourself. This definitely adds an interesting dynamic to the game mode. Also, if you set the charge but your team is killed, the enemy team will still need to defuse the bomb to win the round, so be sure to defend it with your dying breath. And also, just like with Control, sticking with your team can make all the difference. It's also a good idea to get a beat on the enemy team before deciding to set the charge. If you set the charge by yourself and are then killed immediately, the enemy can very quickly defuse the bomb and they win the round. Finally, you have the ability to play one of Destiny 2's strikes, the Inverted Spire. Strikes are cooperative multiplayer missions where you fight through several areas and eventually face a boss. You have the ability to respawn, but these activities do include areas that are respawn restricted, meaning if you are killed, you will have to wait 30 seconds to respawn by yourself. However, you still can be immediately revived by a teammate. Also, if all members of the team die in a respawn restricted zone, you all go back to the last checkpoints. Checkpoints occur when you gain a new mission objective in the upper left hand corner. Now, completing any of these activities will grant you loot. The system is much more simplified for the beta, but essentially you will gain new weapon types and new armor pieces that will change up your character's stats, like how much damage they can resist or how fast they can move. Play around with these selections and see if you can find a build that suits you. And that's pretty much it. That's the Destiny 2 beta in a nutshell. There is of course much more to the game than what I went over in this video, and of course we will explore much more of that in the coming days and weeks leading up to the game's release on September 6th. So be sure to subscribe to learn more about the game every day. If you like what you saw, a like is always appreciated. It not only lets me know how I'm doing, but it also makes the video more visible to more people. Also, let me know if you have any questions about the Destiny 2 beta or any of its systems down below, and I will be more than happy to answer them. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.